eventually, or you could feel all as one.
Good.
Since we all have this intellect different, it's really difficult to feel everybody as one.
Right. 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 Great. Great. After a lot of conflict, you passed an exam. So everyone has to be one's own examiner. I am not your examiner. You are your own examiner. So which means you have to be very honest with yourself. You got to know yourself as you are. Who else can know you? Only you can know yourself.
Which would be the aim or the purpose? If I get in touch with this deep, if I might be blessed to be in touch with Atma, it wouldn't be the similar that being dead in the way that I can go back to the source. Isn't that also a kind of getaway of life? Or
yeah, in a sense.
Getaway of if I am also accepting myself and life and the planet as it is. And I want to, at the same time, it's like a kind of get rid of this.
No. There's no question of getting rid of anything. That's a wrong perception. Because you can't get rid of anything. Why should you get rid of anything? Because everything in your life has been put there by the divine.
But in the moment that I can accept it,
you've got to accept it.
And make peace with that.
Right.
And I feel a kind of evolution or a kind of a different way of relate with the outer world. So the purpose would be to make a kind of evolution.
No, you got to
make a difference.
No, you got to accept everything that is there in your life as the handiwork of the divine. Even if it's a virtuous nature or if it's a sinful nature, nothing belongs to you. A drama is happening in the theater of the body, in the theater of consciousness. A drama is being played out by God. It's being played out in a particular theater, and Amma is the theater. It's happening in her consciousness, in her body. A certain drama, cosmic drama is happening. And Amma, as the ego, has to start learning, and that she's actually the Atma. And she's got to get that understanding or that knowledge and that realization so that she will stop struggling with herself. And the way to for that struggle to end is to start watching Shakti at work. You are already in the final state. Every human being is already connected to God. God is not outside of you on top of some hill somewhere. God is inside completely, and you've got to connect to that God. And if there is a guidance from God, who is an outer God like a guru or a master, then that God will ultimately lead you to this depth inside yourself, under the consciousness, that Atma as the imperceptible inner self. You've got to come there. And that's a kind of dying. Dying of what? It's the ego and the petty little self for which the world matters immensely. And the world is all there is for the stupid ego. And a greater self has to come, the greater self which is the eternal and which is the same in every other human individual, the greater self. The lesser self is different between you and her, is different. But the greater self is the same. And that is Shiva, and that is Atma. And we've got to get there. I'm saying you can get there by watching and giving up the struggle, trying to correct yourself, just watching. And because the watching means it's not a new kind of watching, it's not a new light which you switch on a particular day at 1:30 p.m. Because Shiva has the potency of watching, and the cosmic energy is shifting between Shiva and Shakti. Shakti is dynamic, Shiva is potential, and Shiva is always watching. But because you're more of Shakti and you are in Shakti, you don't know that you have the power of this watching. The power
so at that moment I can sit beside Shiva and see the theater?
Not sit beside. You are Shiva already. You are Shiva already. You are also Shakti, because Shakti is a radiation from Shiva. It's like the sun being there and then sunlight coming out from the sun. Sunlight is Shakti, sun is Shiva. Sun is Shiva and sunlight which is beaming out is Shakti. Both are the same. One is going out and the other is just stable and rock-like. You've got to know that you're both.
I do know. It's just like, the realization that I can be in that other, like going in that platform of the theater.
Right.
And coming back to the game.
Yeah, you can go back and you can come. But first you've got to go back and be there for some time. And then Shakti you can allow Shakti to do her work. Yeah, then Shakti will be inspired. As I said, there are two kinds of work for the Shakti. Shakti may have declared her independence and may be in a very rebellious rhythm of activity, where she is not following Shiva's mandate. She has declared her independence and on her own crazy mad journeys. Or she can go back to her husband and realize that all her activity is inspired by him. And then she is just resting on his lap. And then when it is necessary for Shakti to work, Shiva gives a mandate and a blessing. Now Shakti will work under his inspiration. Now this is an auspicious journey for Shakti, because it's divinely inspired. Not the previous irreligious and inauspicious journey, because that journey there is pain. In the second journey, there's no pain at all. You've got to work it out yourself. You've got to work it out. It's not so difficult as it appears. It can be worked out. You've got to be totally true to yourself. Totally true. So we did good work this morning. I want to thank Sri Ricardo ji and the wonderful heavenly team of angels. I have to manage the technology. And then another set of angels. I don't know where the demons have gone now. We've all become angels. I want to thank you for your marvelous cooperation. So we take a break now and we meet after lunch.
Thank you so much.
Namaste. Namaste.